How many rules have you broken in your lifetime? Me, I've broken not a single freaking rule. What's up? Wow, that was pretty lame. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Rule Breakers. So what is this about? Preschool premise. We are in Afghanistan 2017 and girls can't touch computers. Basically, the laws of the Afghan, Islam, Muslims want to put it that way. They're like, women are basically second-class citizens, maybe third, maybe fourth. Okay, maybe not everywhere in the world, like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, it's coming a little bit better. But when you have like Taliban, when you're in Syria, and things like that, cover your face, cover your ankles. You don't get to learn jack crap. So anyway, computers, and now we're slowly starting to get better in Afghanistan. It's like, okay, maybe females can do a little bit more, because Taliban's slowly dying down. But at the same time, Taliban is still in, kind of control in some of these villages. And now these girls need to go to America, to UK, Europe, to do these competitions to hopefully get first place. So, do I like this film? It's a fine, conventional film that will encourage, engage females from around the world to do STEM research. Do I wish it went more in depth of the Afghani storyline of what happens in that country? Yes, but I understand they kind of wanted to keep it more lighthearted for having these girls going through the struggles of, customs in the robot being stuck in customs, issues with other things that are happening in the world, like in their country, like kind of going up the food chain to try to get their parents to understand. Absolutely. But I think the political climate of this movie would have made it a little bit more tense, but I understand. So when talking about the movie itself, it looks good. Of course, I was like Googling, I was like, okay, there's no way they filmed this in Afghanistan, especially with what is going on right now with Taliban in control. It was filmed in Morocco, Marrakesh. Makes perfect sense. I've been there, ran a marathon there. It's a beautiful part of the country, or of the world, too. Like, it's gorgeous. Like, it's kind of crazy, too. Like, you'll be in the village, like, where they do all the vendors and things, so you can walk around there. But then all of a sudden, you get out of, like, the side streets. Then it's, like, almost like Chili's is somewhere and things like that. Very fantastic food, friendly people in Morocco, Marrakesh. So there you go. The acting by everyone involved is pretty good. I do feel like, some side characters weren't the greatest actors, especially with some of the other countries that are involved, but that's fine. This movie does what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to promote stem cell, not STEM, sorry. Yeah, the STEM research, like, getting into science, getting into robotics, IT, computers, have women get into that learn to code kind of thing. Not the whole, oh, you're fired, learn to code, well, even though that was a liberal thing a couple years ago. But, they're learning to code to, do something different from what they're used to in Afghanistan, which is probably nothing. Be a wife at 13, 14. It's horrible. But you know what? That's part of the world, and people need to realize first world problems versus third world problems, and it's truly there. And it does go in depth, like after 2021, where, once Taliban's control, girls can't learn jack. That's very, very disappointing. Like I said, though, I do wish it expanded on some of that, because there's a good scene where I think they're in Berlin or in a European country, right? And they were signing each other's shirts and they were taking pictures of it. But these pictures now online, and they're like, a boy touched her. Like, she is like deflowered almost. And you're just like, bro, what? Like, seriously? You're willing to marry a 13-year-old and do nasty shit to a 13-year-old, but if a boy touches her back by signing a t-shirt, that's where you go crazy. And there's also a scene where it's like she's praying to Allah, basically like, I hope Allah forgives me for me touching a boy's finger, and you're just like, that's why I think about these first world, third world problems where people are talking about right now, and how dangerous their kind of rhetoric is against, like, Elon Musk and things like that. I know that's something completely different, but is it though? Where they're like, they want him dead. It's like shooting up Tesla dealerships. It's like, bro, you just loved him a couple minutes ago for, like, being environmental friendly, but now you're burning down electrical stations, which is causing harm tenfold. The hypocrisy is absolutely outstanding. And that's why I think this movie would be good for some of those people to realize, maybe I shouldn't be complaining so much in like America or Europe because I know look at Syria right now. Look what's happening in uh Ireland right now, or some of the countries in Europe that are getting like. Wasn't there a huge like also riot in UK about a bunch of people in Syria cheering that they were killing a bunch of Christians and other like it's like what are we going to do? All right. I know I'm talking a lot about not about this movie, but at the same time I am because it really is a cultural relevant movie when it deals to that of where, you know, when America was there, I want to say try to liberate, I know that's kind of the wrong word, or like free Afghanistan from the Taliban and trying to get them to, have a little bit of peace for the females. But like I said, after 2021, there's a reason why they fled the country. They fled. There's a reason why so many Afghan refugees hopped on that plane because they knew for a fact if America was gone, they were going to be fucked. And it's pretty bad right now. But the movie itself, it is very conventional. It's very surface level. It's going to do the job for people that want it to, have a good story and talk about these 4 girls being in Afghanistan and trying to go through things. There is also a scene about a Hilux. There's so many Toyota Hiluxes in Africa and the Middle East. It's absolutely bombastic. Like, there's 0 Hiluxes in the States. But if you go to Africa and the Middle East, Hiluxes are freaking everywhere. But like I said, there's things that show danger, but doesn't really enhance on the danger. And I just would really wish it did that. But hey, that's just my personal pet peeve of what some of the movie did. Overall, rule breakers. They broke the rules for the religion, for the cultural relevance, for the terrorists that are in the country. And I think it does a good job showing people, you could do more. You could do more. So rule breakers will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 60%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics a 79% with 24 of them. Audience score 96% with over 100. No critic consensus. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people, I was going to say it's a bad joke about, I bet you a lot of Muslim men are making sure their wives and daughters don't watch this movie because they're like, we don't want to give them any good ideas. Yeah, that might be a bad thing, but is it though? Is it? Because like I said, I always tell a story. When I was in Morocco, Marrakesh, even though it was a great time, I went in the mountains to a village, and there were some nice rugs. But then I learned if I bought the rug, the woman or young girl who made the rug would be ready for marriage, and some of them are 12 or 13. I refused. I freaking refused. 60, 79, 96 gross burp. Chase like here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know this Bootontopia. You Booftonians think watch have a great day. I have no idea what's happening to my chest right now. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'm having a heart attack. No, that's not true. That's not true.